I'm Ashton Addison from EventChain for InvestmentPitch Media and the Crypto Coin Show. And today on Blockchain Interviews, we have Ben Lakoff, the co-founder of Charged Particles. Ben, welcome to the show, and thank you so much for taking the time to be here today.
Hey, Ashton, thanks for having me on. Looking forward to it.
Likewise, I'm really excited to dive into Charged Particles, what you're doing in the NFT space now, and some of the solutions that you're providing. And I would love for you to just kick it off with an overview and the focus of those solutions from Charged Particles, and then we can dive into the details.
Yeah, sure. So Charged Particles is an NFT protocol that allows you to put other assets inside of your NFT. So it's still an ERC 721 standard ERC, standard NFT, but you're able to, in a programmatic way, put other assets inside of it. So this can be ERC20 tokens, so anything, speculative tokens, social tokens, LP tokens from Uniswap V2. This could be other NFTs, so you can kind of create this Russian doll of NFTs locked within NFTs. And then the third category is still ERC20, but also these would be DeFi interest-bearing assets. So we have integrations with Aave and Compound, so you're able to have an asset containerized into this NFT, earning yield all within one. So it creates this really awesome token mechanic that we're super excited about.
Mm-hmm. Definitely, and yeah, this really does take NFTs to the next level. You know, for all these people that are just getting involved in the crypto space right now, seeing like, oh, and, you know, NFTs, you can collect them, and you know, a lot of people sort of see them as just digital art right now, but you can really turn these into financial products and have so much more functionality. You know, in terms of the NFT space, when you started Charged Particles and you were looking at NFTs, did you see issues with the way that NFTs were built right now, or is it really just that they're just lacking the functionality and they needed to move it to the next level?
Yeah, it's more of the latter, and I can't take credit for the idea behind Charged Particles. So Rob Secord, he was the founder, visionary. He's been thinking about this thing since late 2019. So we had a proof of concept early 2020. We grabbed the Twitter handle DeFi NFT in February of 2020. So this is before DeFi summer, so before a lot of people knew about DeFi, and long before, you know, this latest NFT boom. So Rob had a ton of incredible foresight of thinking what an NFT would look like if it could had this additional functionality and could do so much more. So yeah, he definitely deserves all the credit there. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And you mentioned a couple different, you know, kind of financial products that you can build, and you did mention there that you can take NFTs and you can create other ERC20 and fungible tokens. Can you talk about, you know, how exactly does that work, and sort of what is the purpose behind creating tokens within your NFT?
Yeah, sure. Well, when, like you said in the beginning, like most people hear NFT and they think digital art. They think people, 69 million, this crypto art, this crazy thing that's going on. And that's fine. I think it's a bit of a like Trojan horse to get more people into crypto. So overall, you know, it is what it is. But it's important to know that NFTs are not just crypto art. So NFT stands for non-fungible token. So it's a token that is not fungible. So it's actually almost easier to say what is not a non-fungible token, which is only fungible tokens, which are basically only security or only privacy coins, because 1 equals 1. But all the rest have a bit of non-fungibility, a bit of uniqueness associated with that token. So when you broaden the scope of what is an NFT, not just art, and you start thinking of, okay, well, literally any unique digital item represented on the blockchain is an NFT, then you can start to think of all these other use cases. And then when you view those use cases, those other types of NFTs, and the ability to turn it into a container to hold other assets in a programmatic way, well, it starts to look very different. So, I mean, some like small steps out from where we are with our DApp is the idea of an NFT being essentially a piggy bank that you put assets in, and as it's earning interest, the image is changing slightly over time, and that amount could be time locked. So it could be like a forced hold for your kids until they hit 18, or until the interest accumulates a certain amount of assets in there overall. So we're an NFT protocol. We're NFT agnostic, any sort of NFT. We do have a DApp that went live earlier this year in February. We've had $2 million of NFT sales, people trying out new different things with their NFT. So we had an NFT filled with 14 other NFTs and some social tokens sell for 42 ETH about a month ago. So people are experimenting and trying, but I think the real billion-dollar use case kind of hidden within this protocol and this tech is something much more financial. And this is why we're doing hackathons and really encouraging the community, people that understand this a lot better. I have a CFA, I understand a lot of these things, but not like the intricacies of what bleeding neck problem this NFT fit into this could actually solve.
Totally. And, it's so exciting when you mention that NFTs could be like a bank account. Some people don't actually think about these things, but back in 2018, when people were starting to talk about security tokens and tokenizing and micro investing, there was the discussion around micro investing in real estate or owning, the stock market or your house or your car as, a token or, a divisible token. And I think really that it was what is now becoming NFTs. And now you mentioned like a bank account as well. It can really be, as you said, it's like what isn't and what can't an NFT be. So the possibilities do really seem endless, and it's really exciting for charged particles to be, this like open-ended platform. And you mentioned NFT agnostic. Are you guys really just building it out for, any kind of use case and try to keep it as open-ended as possible? Or did you really see some first use cases in terms of the early adoption and what's going to really kick off, a more widespread adoption of adding in more functionality to NFTs?
Yeah. So, I mean, some use cases, like Navigati, for example, is an example of what this would look like as a game, right? You have different assets that are represented as a game. It's a wearable, it's a character, it's an avatar, all being able to earn, like you deposit real assets inside of, earn interest and change that in rarity or in value or whatever in the game. So this is a use case, but we chose to go with crypto art as a good way of like, let's experiment, let's try out different aspects. I mean, we've seen a lot of experimentation, and this is exactly what we want, because every time we have a conversation, people are their brain is exploding with ideas, and it's like, holy crap, you mean I could have an NFT, I could sell it to my audience, I could fill it full of my social tokens, I could time lock that for a year so they can't even pull it out. I could put interest-bearing assets in there, and then the accumulated interest would give them different rights within my ecosystem. So it's like, the way that this would look is like, my fan has an NFT, so I know that they're a supporter. My fan has an NFT with this much interest in it. That means that they've held it for a while. So they jump a different tier of support, and it gives you this proof of length of support that was previously kind of impossible.
Definitely, and that's super cool, and it's really just being able to quantify and show and prove your ownership to something, or your dedication to something, or just any kind of tiered system, and really having it on the blockchain will take it to the next level. And you did mention there you already had some sales through the NFTs. Can you talk about that and going into that as the go-to-market strategy? Did you see the path that you took was the right one in terms of the early adoption of the platform and making it have a strong kickoff?
Yeah, sure. So I mean, we launched perhaps a little late to take advantage truly of like the NFT boom. So we launched in February, but to date it's over $2 million in sales. But it is what it is. Those kind of banner numbers. The more interesting thing is all the different types of experimentation. So people selling an NFT that has another NFT that's time locked inside of it, that has a portion of the interest that's generated by that NFT going to a charity, that has social tokens and other tokens, and all of these things as like a big bundle of items. But this is just the first iteration. I mean, everything you're putting into this basket, you can do in a very programmatic, configurable way. So you think about somebody buying an NFT and it's got something else locked inside of it, some other asset that then could be unlocked in a certain period of time. that unlock could discharge it to another wallet, for instance. So I mean, you could have interest-bearing assets in there earning yield, and you still own that principal, and the interest could go to a third party or something. So there's a lot of really fascinating use cases that we're just scratching the surface within art. And the fact that we're NFT agnostic and we're working on all these other integrations, like the use of charged particles protocol is could be really, really fascinating.
Definitely. And I wanted to ask you about the protocol. Is, with the launch of charged particles protocol, is this like its own, separate from Ethereum or interoperable with Ethereum? How exactly does that work? And, briefly touch on the technology that underlies making all this NFT magic possible.
Yeah, sure. So it's a mess of smart contracts built on Ethereum. So I mean, technically we're blockchain agnostic. We could deploy on another blockchain, but where are all of the NFTs and DeFi right now? Well, it's on layer 1 Ethereum. So we've already deployed on Polygon. That goes live in 2 weeks from now. But yeah, it's the technology behind it is we are giving each NFT its own smart wallet. Using smart contracts that allows it to hold other assets. So this ability, I mean, this is what we're focusing on. So being able to take our protocol and plug it into other dApps, other protocols even, and have this ability to charge or energize assets within their ecosystem is what we're working on.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And I was reading that there are some fungible tokens as well that integrate with the charged particles protocol and sort of make the NFT platform work. And there's the Ionx token. Can you touch on that? How it's involved with, is it necessary for creating the NFTs? How else is it used within the protocol? And does it create a sustainable ecosystem for the participants in charged particles?
Yeah, good question. So first I'll comment on the name. So if you'll notice with a lot of our theming, it sticks to the standard model of particle physics. So like within the ecosystem, we have each NFT that you create is a proton. Our community is photon. We have lepton, which is a yield multiplier NFT. There's a lot of different names, but they all stick to this theme, which is pretty cool. So what we wanted it to be was Ion, but Microsoft actually has their own token called Ion. So we've called it Ionx. Ionx is the governance token of the charged particle protocol. So we believe in progressive decentralization, and this is the first step. So we have a number of community members, and we want this protocol to be owned by the community and governed by the community, and this is the first step for sure. So right now there are no fees at the dApp or at the protocol level, but obviously with decentralized voting, this is one of the votes that could pass, and we could turn on that fee bucket whenever we're ready.
Very cool, and thank you for that, Ben. And it seems like your team's doing really well so far with the launch of the dApp and the NFT sales so far. Can you talk about what are the next steps for you, and the major milestones that you're looking to achieve in the near future throughout the summer of 2021 to take charged particles to the next level?
Yeah, definitely. So this is being recorded the 27th of May. So sorry, you'll see how quick Ashton is at editing this and publishing this out. But on the 31st of May, we IDO, so this is the public release of Ionx, our governance token. 1 week later, we'll actually launch on Polygon. So most of these things, I mean, they've been in final testing for a number of weeks, so it's finally just unveiling it to the world. And then the following week, the 14th, we'll go live with our NFT liquidity mining. So first of its kind liquidity mining within your NFT, and we've got these lepton NFTs within our ecosystem. It's pretty cool. I'm not going to go way into the details, but you deposit this NFT into your NFT that you're liquidity mining and get boosted rewards. That's kind of the cliff notes. So these are the next things, like in the next couple weeks, that's for sure. But then it's really about broadening adoption of charged particle protocol. So we're in the initial talks, or kind of midway through talks, with a number of other NFT protocols and initial games. We have a very vibrant community of people giving out great ideas. And ultimately, I mean, the community's everything, and seeing what crazy ideas that we could never even think of start to get built on top of charged particles is the really, really exciting part.
Definitely, that's very exciting, and I'm curious. Part of your marketing strategy in getting to that widespread adoption, you mentioned building some partnerships, potentially other major artists or NFT creators or potential games, or do you see the financial incentives themselves of being able to monetize and have these financial products within the NFTs enough to drive more adoption, or will it be a combination of all of that?
A combination, and we're at the phase, we're pre-product market fit with a crazy, awesome solution that's going to be super useful. So partnering with the right people and building the right products is really, well, that's the name of the game, I suppose. Mm-hmm. So we're moving on all these things. I think with charged particles, we're pretty uniquely positioned that yes, we have a minting station in a marketplace, but we don't aspire to be this, number one minting station and marketplace out there. But at a protocol layer, we can integrate into these minting station and marketplaces. There's a ton of them. Mm-hmm. It's essentially a red ocean. But like a first easy integration is that any NFTs created on those platforms can be energized or charged up. You can put assets on them, into them on our platform. So mm-hmm. This phase 2 becomes charged particles is the charging station, but put things inside of your NFT, and the window, like see what's inside your NFT. So that's kind of the next step, and that's very easy, and that's what's happening in the next month. Then the next, very easy, right? I'm using these words very, very carefully, obviously not. And then the next step is a deeper integration with these NFT platforms. So when you're creating an NFT on a place like Rarible or OpenSea, you can mint it, and then you can deposit assets directly into your NFT, all within their UI, their UX. So that's a little bit longer term. We're already talking to a number of people. We've started to announce a few of them. But these are longer term commitments, teams that we feel aligned with, like what they're working on, and really want to give them this unique ability for their users to leverage charged particle protocol when they're creating their NFTs and differentiate from the long tail of NFT creators, and differentiate their platform from the red ocean of other NFT marketplaces.
Definitely, and there's a lot of potential paths to go down because there's just so many use cases for charged particles. So I'm really excited to see how it builds out and moves into fruition. And but for now, for the viewers that are looking to get involved right now, learn more about charged particles protocol, about Ionx Token, and how they can start minting and use all this functionality, what's the best way for them to get involved?
Yeah, sure. So probably our Twitter is the easiest way to direct people. So our Twitter handle, and if you could throw this in the video notes, that'd be super helpful, is DeFi NFT. So easy to remember. And our website is charged.fi. So also very short. But yeah, that would be the best way to find out about what we're doing with charged particles. And then we have an open platform, so you can go to our DApp and you can mint an NFT. We don't charge any fees. You'll have to pay Ethereum gas fees, but then you can start doing more with your NFTs and doing these crazy things and pushing the limits of what an NFT looks like as an art NFT. And soon we'll be rolling this out to other NFT platforms as well.
Very exciting, Ben. And yes, I will leave those community links in the description box below. All the best on the IDO, the upcoming releases in the protocol. I will be looking to utilize it myself and try out all of these interesting and innovative products. And I'm really excited to see how this grows, because I think this is sort of the future and NFTs 2.0, and really now that everyone is starting to learn about this outside of cryptocurrency, and they're going to see the potential in how this is going to revolutionize the world. So it's very exciting. So thank you so much for coming on the show. All the best with the charged particles moving forward, and let's follow up in the near future.
Awesome. Ashton, really appreciate you taking the time, and thanks for having me on.